You know that we knock 'em down. CBT, CBT, CBT. Yeah, we know we knock 'em down. CBT, you know we knock 'em down.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Big Cool coming to you from Colossal Boxing Talk. Colossal Boxing Talk is associated with Three Kings Boxing under the movement umbrella, and I am back with another video. I'm here to discuss Chris Eubank Jr. What did we learn in yesterday's fight between him and George Groves? As you all know, Eubank Jr. lost that fight by unanimous decision. He got dominated. And for all the shit that he talked, he didn't come close to bagging it up. He showed in that fight that he is very, very limited skill-wise. Yes, he's very athletic. Yes, he has good endurance and stamina. Yes, he has solid power. But he lacks the fundamentals and the technique and the overall skill set to be an elite fighter at 160 or 168. He was going against George Groves, who has been in the ring with Carl Froch, Badu Jack, James DeGale, just to name a few. A lot of people, myself included, picked Chris Eubank Jr. to win that fight, not because he was a better fighter, but because he was more youthful, even though by 1 year he hasn't been in that many wars or any wars at all in his career. We felt that his stamina and endurance would be able to help him prevail in the second half of the fight once the stamina and endurance of George Groves failed him. But we were all wrong, those that picked Eubank Jr. over Groves. From the onset, George Groves, the experienced veteran, WBA, super middleweight, super champion, came out with a game plan. He stayed behind his jab. He had the wide stance, but he jab, 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 and he did throw right hand. And you can tell by the way that Eubanks fought or didn't fight, he was worried about that right hand because we know the right hand put Carl Froch on his ass. It knocked out Chudinov. He's knocked out plenty of other guys. 19 guys have been knocked out by George Groves in his professional career. The power is evident. You know what I'm saying? And that was something you can tell that was on the mind of Chris Eubank Jr. throughout the entire fight. When he did close the distance, he smothered his punches. Chris Eubank has no jab. I don't even know if he know how to spell jab. I'm being dead serious. This guy lacks the basics of what you need to, have to be halfway successful as a professional boxer. He doesn't cut the ring off. Terrible foot placement. His power didn't, translate to 168, or at least against a quality guy. And, I'm using the word quality with air quotations because it depends on who you ask. George Groves is a overhyped guy who's fortunate to be, a champion in this division. Some people feel that he's a good fighter. I think George Groves is a solid fighter. He's not a world beater, but he's not a bum either. And he went out there and simply just, dissected Eubank Jr. without even really trying. Because you could tell the fight that George Groves fought was one of, what's the word I'm looking for? He fought within himself. He fought composed. In other fights in the past, you see him against a Jack or Carl Froch. He would go helter-skelter, balls to the wall, throw a lot of shots, waste a lot of punches, and tire himself out, come around 7, 8. That's what, fucked him up against Froch. He was winning the first fight, dominated him, had dropped Froch and everything. But he got dropped by a big puncher in Froch because, for one, the stamina issues, the stamina started to fail him. And once that went, he could not just take the shot that he was taking earlier in the fight. Eubank Jr. Has no defense. He telegraphs the right hand and the left hook. He doesn't set up anything. His IQ is not very high. Um, yes, he was the more aggressive guy, but his shots were too far in between effective. Yes, he would land some nice shots. He landed some nice uppercuts when he had George Groves on the ropes. But George Groves, being the cagey veteran that he is, he would tie him up. He would nullify Eubank's attack by just doing that, by clinching. And Eubank nullified his own attack by crowding his punches, smothering his punches, not using a jab to find the range, to be able to be in close enough distance to land that right hand, to land that left hook, to land the uppercut effectively. He's just not a very good fighter. And I made a post on Facebook and I said, Chris Eubank Jr. is a horrible fighter. And that is what he is. And it was evident, it's been evident, but it was even more so once you step up, from the C level to the B level, from the B level to the A level, your flaws start to get more and more exposed because you're going against better fighters who are capable of, exposing you. You got guys who have high ring IQs, very technically and fundamentally sound. They're just better fighters, and they know what to look for in their opponent. So what we learned from Chris Eubank Jr. yesterday afternoon is that he's simply not a very good fighter. He's got to where he got more so of having the Eubank name. His father, we know, 2-time champion, tough fighter, good fighter, but his son is not on his level, let alone the guys he's fighting level, and that says a lot because the current super middleweight division is not what it was when we had the Super 6 tournament with Andre Ward, Andre Durrell, Carl Froch, Mikael Kessler, Arthur Abraham, Jermaine Taylor, those guys. It is not nowhere near as stacked with talent from top to bottom. There's a few good fighters, and I'm not going to knock them. You got Gilberto Ramirez, David Benavidez, you got Callum Smith, you still got Anthony Durrell, Andre Durrell in there, you got Jose Ukatage, Caleb Plant, Jesse Hart. You know what I'm saying? It's some solid fighters, but it's not what it was around that Super 6 era. So, I don't know what's next for Chris Eubank Jr. He took to Twitter and said that, he gave props. He felt that he actually won the fight. It was close. Bullshit. That was not at all. Yeah, just because, you was aggressive doesn't mean that. The 4 criteria of, judging a fight: effective aggression. Your aggression wasn't effective. Defense, the defense was non-existent. Clean punches, you didn't land enough of them. You know what I'm saying? And ring generalship was nowhere to be found. You didn't put yourself in a position to land effective blows. You didn't use your defense to help set up your offense. And, your aggression, you was aggressive, but it wasn't effective. And you didn't land clean shots. So, it is what it is, man. Chris Eubank is not a very good fighter. Back to the drawing board. I don't know what's next for him. He called out Caleb Truex. I can't be mad at him. He called out the weakest guy at 168. But James DeGale still has those problems, and I think he has a rematch. So Eubank Jr. now out of the WBSS tournament, World Boxing Super Series tournament. So he has to go back to the drawing board and figure out where he's going to go from there. His father finally admitted that, he didn't show his level, but he may not ever be the level that they both think that he is on. So maybe he comes to America, gets with one of the top trainers over here, refine some things, get some things added to his game, and become a better fighter. But he's 28 years old. You can't teach old dog new tricks. But like I said, I'm not gonna say he can't redeem himself. I'm gonna say that he can't redeem himself, but you never say never, because he could easily get with somebody who could reach him and help him develop and become a better fighter. So we'll see how the rest of his career plays out. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to Colossal Boxing Talk. Go ahead over to Facebook, smack that like button on the Colossal Boxing Talk Facebook page. Follow me on Twitter at Colossal CBT. Drop those comments in the comment section below, giving me your thoughts on Chris Eubank Jr. as a fighter. Also, shout out to everybody in the movement that's moving with us. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.